Hi, my name is Lisa Moore. I'm a registered nurse, patient advocate, and radio talk show host. This is a message for three individuals: Sandra Fluke, President Obama, and Rush Limbaugh. I will first address Sandra Fluke. Sandra, you've allowed yourself to become part of a media circus by involving yourself in congressional hearings that had absolutely nothing to do with you or your need or your desire for condoms to be provided for you or any other person in this nation. That is not what those congressional hearings were about. Those congressional hearings were about the legality of legislation stating that those things for birth control needed to be provided by employers, even though some employers could be religious-based institutions like Catholic universities or Mormon universities or other types of organizations that employ staff. People raised legal fights against this, so congressional hearings were brought upon to find out and to go forward regarding this issue. Your personal sex life, your personal belief system has nothing to do with the legality that was being discussed in the congressional hearings. If you do not want to be called names, then I suggest you don't get up in front of the entire nation and talk about how many times you need condoms and how much sex that you are having. Let me explain something to you, Ms. Fluke. This nation is in a severe financial crisis. For weeks now, the discussion has been on you and birth control instead of how to keep this nation together, afloat, solvent, so that we do not become the next Greece. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not about you, Miss Fluke. If you wish to be a fighter for women, then I suggest you use your quote-unquote upcoming law degree to help women who are victims of sex slaves, trafficking, rape and abuse, sexual mutilation. The list can go on. Those are the women that need your help. And I hope that whoever pays for your law degree, since obviously you can't pay for it yourself, you can pay for your vacations, or is that the Democratic Party who's paying for your current vacation that you're on? Anyway, if I ever take a vacation, you can better believe that people ask me, well, you ought to be able to pay for other stuff too, if I ever go on a vacation. Next, we move on to President Obama. President Obama, you reaching beneath the office of the President of the United States to contact Ms. Fluke and offer her your thoughts and sympathies, or whatever you want to call it, or your encouragement, is beneath the Oval Office. The office that you have, this country that you've sworn to uphold and protect. President Obama, your nation is going downhill. And it's not going downhill because Sandra Fluke wants to get out and talk about how much condoms that she needs. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your daughters. It has nothing to do with fighting for women. Because I can guarantee you, I have not seen anything that shows me that you care about my needs as a woman in this country. Not one thing. Rush Limbaugh, unfortunately, I have to address you too. Mr. Limbaugh, you allowed yourself to be played. You allowed yourself to become part of this media circus. I understand that things like this can happen to anybody. I understand that your passions ran deep, and you could not believe the things that were going on Capitol Hill. A majority of Americans, however, cannot believe the things that were going on Capitol Hill for the last 2 weeks. I hope that you understand that what happened to you was partially of your own doing, and I hope that you've learned some lessons for this. It's a very similar thing that happens to some of our congressmen once they go up to Washington. They get caught up in the circus. So, to you three individuals, you owe the people of this great nation an apology, a major apology. And I'm hoping that this nation will get back to the business of saving itself and becoming solvent and continuing to be the great nation it has always been. You can disagree with me. You can agree with me. I'll listen to you in the comments below and hear what you have to say. I've had my say.